What are artists making?
I am wearing...
So the hat is black
and
colors.
what's your name?
I'm Jessie Rheya.
And what's your name?
My name is Nikki of Taka.
Let's go! What's up, Nikki of Taka? And what do you do? Very interesting.
I'm actually the co-founder of Taka Original.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's created by two girls, Nikki and KK.
Let's go. And could we check out your pop-up? This is really cool.
Of course, please come inside.
Let's go. And a quick question, what inspired you to start your brand, Taka Original?
That was a night that we were drunk.
Word.
So we decided to start a brand that we can pursue our dreams and to create the fun and to, because a lot of brands that are like, they are into like rebellions and they were like into more like dark side and stuff, but we wanted to be more positive, so we always designed it in like more colorful way to express the meaning behind. So for example, Taka Original is all about creative fun, right? And right now we do run like two brands, Taka creative fun, and off the label, it means don't be labeled by the society, be yourself.
Yes.
Be who we are, right?
Absolutely.
Yep. That's our journey, basically. We wanted to create our fun, and we wanted to help young adults to realize they can just be themselves. They can just be themselves.
Love that.
All right.
And last but not least, for someone that wants to jump into fashion design or starting their own brand based around clothing, what advice would you give to them?
Please work on your actual clothes. You know how to cut stuff, you know the fabrics and stuff. Pay attention on the detail, and please just like quality is better than quantity.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much.
Thank
and
you.
Shout out to your brand.
Yay, thank you.
Oh.
Okay. So Lily got this little design.
Oh, y'all went in. Oh my gosh.
So this is a pattern maker right here.
Damn.
And then I got the sleeve. I don't know if you can see it.
No, that's incredible.
Sketchy sketch.
Meanwhile, I made a cat. Oh my god. What's up, YouTube? We're out here. This is Dev. We're gonna see what artists are making in New York City. Make sure you like and subscribe. 500,000 people have watched this channel, only 10% subscribe, so you know what to do. We're gonna see some really cool art. Let's go. Let's go. And what's your name?
My name is doooo. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, doooo. And shout out to your amazing artwork right here. Very realistic. I love it. And are you an artist?
Yeah, I'm an artist and a DJ.
Wow, yes. And I love your music. I've checked out a lot of it and it's really dope.
Thank you.
In terms of like your creative process, what inspires your work? It's really dope.
Yes, I love horror and science fiction movies and mangas.
Incredible.
I'm inspired from David Cronenberg and the movie of Terminator and Gremlin. I always make music by MPC 2000XL.
Nice.
So I thought MPC and human flesh is combined. People say I am science fiction and horror loving people. Yes.
No, that's super cool. And what's your name?
My name's Ren. Nice
What's
to meet
up,
you.
Ren?
What up? How's it going?
And are you an artist?
Of sorts.
Very cool.
I'm a creative producer, a bridge and connector, and also world creator.
Love that. Shout out to the world creators.
Yeah.
And yeah, could we hear more about this exhibition? This is really dope. I love this exhibition and your involvement in it.
Yeah, for sure. So this is an exhibition from a Japanese artist named doooo, D with 4 O's.
Word.
But doooo is a very, very cool artist from Tokyo, and he makes all the human flesh art that you see around me here.
Wow.
This is his first ever exhibition outside of Japan, and so very, very happy to be a part of it.
Yes. And then in terms of just like your creative process, I heard that you ran into like Jimmy Fallon. What was like your thoughts in regards to that? Like, how did that happen?
In terms of my role with this project was really just bringing it to New York for the first time. And so what we decided to do, what could be more New York than putting the items on a hot dog cart. And so that's what we ended up doing. We took the items around on a hot dog cart for a day all around New York City. And we were lucky enough to run into Jimmy Fallon around 30 Rock. And so we got him to blink with the blinking disco ball eye that dude has. And so, you know, but also just very excited to show these pieces to the people in New York.
Incredible. And last but not least, for someone that wants to become like a creative producer or just working with other artists, what type of advice would you give to them to get started?
Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, I think, you know, getting started is as easy as just reaching out to your favorite artists, you know, whether they have a show, you know, a DM, you know, worst thing that happens is that somebody might not respond, but they might respond. And so, you know, reaching out to your favorite artists, learning about what they do, what their goals are, and, you know, seeing how you can help in your own unique ways.
Perfect. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. I'm so glad we did the fist bump with this one and not the X, but shout out to that too. And what's your name?
My name is Quay.
Nice to meet you. And are you an artist?
I am an artist.
That's
I'm a
awesome.
Photographer, visual artist. I take photos around the city, mostly Soho. Maybe not you see my work, or maybe just see me passing around.
Amazing. I've seen your work all over Instagram. It's really fire.
I appreciate
You are OG out here.
Trying to get my reps in.
Getting your reps in.
About it, yeah.
And yeah, like as a photographer, who or even what inspires your work the most, if you could answer that?
I would say fashion mostly. So I wouldn't say anyone specific. I do collect a lot of like photo books and like magazines. I'm actually starting like a big collection of like fashion magazines from like all different places. Like Pop magazine is pretty good. I just got one actually from Iconics magazine.
Right.
But it's from another. A lot of stuff in there.
I read another magazine all the time. That's one of my favorites for sure.
Okay.
And I love your camera as well. Is this your main camera that you use?
Yeah. So this is my main camera. I shoot with a Sony A7 IV. I do switch between two lenses. So I shoot with Tamron. It's a 70 to 180 millimeter. So this is just for like long focal lengths. And then I have one other zoom lens, but it's like for shorter, like anything like within this range is like great for that.
Amazing.
And I do video with both, so yeah.
Yeah, I love your videos on Instagram. They're like perfect kind of like frame rate. They're also just the best drip.
Yeah.
Very inspirational. And last but not least, for others that want to become a photographer or even do work in the same like breadth as yours, what advice would you give someone that wants to be a photographer like yourself?
So my first advice would be to like pick a niche. I think when I started out, I went in knowing that I wanted to do like fashion photography. But when I started, I got into cameras and just wanted to shoot everything. So I kind of went back to why I started. So I would say like first pick a niche, pick where you would stand out, or just shoot, honestly shoot a bunch of things and then see where you always draw back to. Like if you're into photography, visual, stuff like that, see what things draw you back to, like, yeah.
Perfect. Yeah. Well, thank you so much, man. Appreciate it, and have a nice day. And what's your name?
I'm Jessie Rheya.
Nice to meet you. And are you an artist?
Yes, I am a interdisciplinary designer.
Shout out to that. And can we check out your art studio?
Yeah.
Let's go.
All right.
And this is your studio. Very cool. Very dope. And could you show me around? This is very awesome.
Yeah, I am a fashion designer. That's the new skill that I'm working to understand right now. So I've got my nice sewing machine that's been really good to me through these late nights.
Very dope.
And then this is just the table that I work off of. So I built this table, you know, the section, the clearance section, where they just have spare parts. So yeah, I built that, and then this is just closet doors from IKEA.
Nice.
And this is where I create my patterns. So right now, these are most of the pattern pieces that I cut up from draping the jacket that I'm working, and then this is the fabric I'm using.
And where do you usually get your fabric from?
This is from Mood specifically, and this lining is also from Mood. So the lining is kind of like a velvet corduroy. And then I found this piece of leather from the scrap bin that I want to try to incorporate too. And my cutting board, and this is the piece that I'm currently working on. I'm learning. I'm a self-taught designer, so everything that I want to incorporate into my pieces, I have to learn how to. So the next step is figuring out how to stabilize my shoulder pads. I realized what the issue though is it's flat, so I need to figure out how to create it to concave around the shoulders. So
I'm learning so much. This is very cool.
Yeah, I'm learning so much too.
Nice.
And then this is the part that we don't really care about. It's just my printing machine if I want to print out my patterns instead of sketching it out. I rarely do that. I like to sketch out and then cut. And then this is my little tiny sewing board, which makes me laugh because New York City is so small and we have these little nooks and crannies that we have to just get tiny things for, but it works.
Facts. And these are also some of the pieces that you've been working on as well, right?
Yeah, this one was just a piece that I wanted to repurpose from a previous pattern. So this was a pattern from a dress, and it had all of these separate pieces to it, and I wanted to add a zipper. But of course, it's not done. It's just a sample when I was experimenting one day, just to see what I could create and if I liked that kind of process of just going in without draping and sketching and doing the full process. So.
And one more thing, you have this white board right here. I wanted to ask about this too. What's this about?
Yeah, so this is a piece that's never gonna be finished. I just have this canvas here for whenever I want to change up my style of crafts, if I want to start working with paint or just a different kind of movement. So I keep this here for the days that I don't want to sew or create patterns and I just want to put something down on the canvas. So I have a bunch of paint and brushes down here for that purpose of just compiling whatever I need to do on here.
Very cool.
As a backup.
Dope. Lastly, for people that are interested in your practice, people that want to become fashion designers, design their own clothes, what's the biggest piece of advice you would give to them?
I would say, I think that if you're interested in designing clothes, you already have somewhat a certain taste that you like, that you probably trust. So I would start sketching out your ideas and just putting them down, and then taking 1 or 2 basics classes, so learning how to sew, learning how to make your patterns, and then from there pick a design that you want to design. Just pick one and then go for it, because you want to start with finishing your designs first, and then as you're learning, you're going to learn the technical skills. So don't be afraid of not knowing all the technical skills in the beginning, because what's really going to anchor you through your work is your passion for your design and bringing it to life. And then when you come to a stopping point of something that you don't know, just Google it, find it on YouTube. University of Fashion is a really great resource to subscribe to if you want to learn how to drape, make patterns. It's pretty much the courses that you could learn in a continuing ed package, like through Parsons or the new school. So if you go on the University of Fashion, you'll learn, like I said, how to drape properly, how to make skirts, how to make a sleeve, and all that stuff. So I would say start with your sketches and then learn the technical skills as you go, and then just keep going, keep finishing your projects, and I would say that would be my best advice.
Amazing. Well, I've learned so much, and thank you so much. This is really awesome, and I appreciate it. And what's your name?
My name's Elena.
Nice to meet you. And are you an artist?
I am.
And what kind of artist are you?
Well, I do a little bit of everything. I am mainly a musician. I grew up playing violin.
Word.
Nowadays I DJ, I do some music production, and some photography, which is what I studied in school, so that's just kind of a part of what I do.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And who or what motivates or inspires your work? What would you say?
I'm inspired by a lot of different things, a lot of different people, different genres of music, but I think for me, especially musically, seeing other producers or musicians who are creating from a very like personal perspective is really inspiring. Like artists like Cheeky or like djsubtledetail, like approaching music from that very like almost like personal narrative place, but it's very like abstract, and they've woven this whole like sonic landscape that's just a reflection of who they are. I think that's really, really intriguing. That's what I would like for myself.
Very cool insight. And last but not least, can we check out some of your music?
Absolutely.
And what's your name?
Matty Becks.
Nice to meet you. And are you an artist?
I am.
And what type of artist would you say you are?
Multidisciplinary, but like mostly like music, DJ.
Amazing. And what is your artist name?
Subtle Detail.
Subtle Detail in the house. And last but not least, what motivates your art, or who even, if you have a particular answer to that? Take your time.
No, I think the thing that motivates my art is like creating moments for people. Like I think like creating memories for people and all that kind of stuff is really important, because like it's cool to look back at night and be like, yo, you remember that night? I think that's cool. It's
amazing. Fun. And can we check out your music?
Yeah, sure.
Let's go.
And we're here live with dntWatchTV at Lambs today. dntWatchTV is a visual and performing artist from Buffalo, New York, who blends hip-hop culture with psychedelia to reimagine the lived metaphysical and black experience. Yes, I'm dntWatchTV, and I'm here at Lambs.
Wow.
And yeah, I wake up in the morning, wash my face, brush my teeth, breathe, first most importantly. This is work, a body of work featuring my homie and my brother Haji World and Brian Giles. This is all my work by myself with little collab features in my homie Spoon, some members of my collective. We got clothes, merch, limited gear. My whole shit is just like being myself and doing what I love to do. I make music, so like in my off time or to balance the time where I'm like in my music process, I'm just like getting it out on the canvas. So it's like a full circle thing. A lot of people always ask me like, what's my process with the music or with the art, or like which one comes first, and I feel like it's all just in a big ball together. It works synonymous with one another. It's like when I'm painting, I'm listening to music, and when I'm listening to music, I'm thinking about visual ideas of how to communicate what it is I'm feeling outside of words, you know what I'm saying? So, man, my whole message is be you, be yourself, do what you love, you know what I'm saying? The TV to me is an imagination box, so you can only get out of it what you put into your own life. So you gotta use your imagination box. Go outside into the world, put your pants on one leg at a time.
Yes. And
fucking just do this, do your thing, do your wave.
Wow, that was the first time I've ever done an interview, and you answered every single question that I was gonna ask. I didn't even tell you what the questions were. Yeah. That was incredible. I really appreciate that.
No doubt.
And this is very inspirational work. I'm super into psychedelia, hip hop culture.
You did.
And you did the cool ass mix of it. So thank you so much, boss.
Shout out to my shroomers out there.
And what's your name?
Hi, my name's rob.hann.
Nice to meet you, rob.hann. I love your work, by the way. This is really incredible. I would say you're an artist. What type of artist are you, if you could describe?
Well, I'm a photographer. I take road trips, mostly out west. I've been doing it for more than 20 years. I just drive and see what I can find.
I love this. And I came across this one. This is probably one of my favorites. Really, really good. Do you know where this one was particularly shot? I have like a copy right here.
Yeah, it's in Arizona, northern Arizona. It's not far from a place called Tuba City, which is the administrative headquarters of the Navajo Nation.
Incredible. And if I may ask, what inspires your work, or even your creative process? What would you say?
I think it's years and years of watching movies, listening to music, reading books, you know, it all just feeds into it.
And last but not least, for anyone that wants to create art either similar to yours or even just being an artist and creating, what kind of advice would you give to them to start?
Just do what you love to do, you know, and that's probably going to be the strongest work you'll do, rather than, you know, trying to do what you think you ought to do, you know, or what's going to make you money. But just do that thing that you love, and that's going to be your best work, I think.
Shout out to that. Well, thank you so much, and I love this work, and have a nice day.
Thanks, you too.
And what's your name?
My name is Will from Brighton, and I am a visual artist from Brighton Beach, Brooklyn. And what inspires my work? Survival and keeping my mouth fed.
Shout out to that. And I love what you're working on now.
Thank you.
Well.
It's the New York City Greek coffee cup. It's
Word.
so
Very cool.
yeah.
And if I may ask, what inspires your work or even your creative process? What would you say?
Just giving people something beautiful to look at, really.
I love that. And last but not least, for people that want to become an artist or create, what type of advice would you give to them?
Stay consistent.
Yes, I love that answer. That's literally what I tell people as well.
Yeah, start a piece every day, or do whatever you do, but do it every day until you fall asleep. From the moment you wake up to the moment you fall asleep.
Thank you so much, sir.
Absolutely.
Have a nice day.
Thank you.
And what's your name?
My name is Sticks.
Sticks in the house. And are you an artist? I love these works that I see out here.
I'm a professional human being, so I essentially just break and make things, you know.
Love
Give
that.
Different perspectives on things. That's
Very cool.
my job.
And can we check out some of your art?
Yeah.
This is amazing. This is crazy because I've seen you before, and I actually have this shirt. I ran into you out in like Brooklyn, and you were at this really cool spot, and this shirt really spoke to me. It's just really dope. Like, what kind of inspired you to make this one in particular?
So like I have an archive of like a few thousand photos, and I narrowed it down to like 3, I think around, I started out with 3 to 15 different images I really liked, and I gave them all titles and dates. And on the back of them, I gave quotes to kind of represent the photos.
Wow, without it, there's no foundation.
Yeah.
Facts. That's incredible. And this second shirt, really cool, nostalgic. It says Brentmore Records.
Yeah, it's like the music external part of the brand, where I work with DJs and musicians on SoundCloud, Spotify, and other streaming services. So like they always have like this front cover, which is actually a photo I took of a broken couch, and I converted it to look like a disc cover, like an ambient record cover. And in the back's like one Winamp player print. So like this is like an Astro Boy themed Winamp player. It's like an old 2000s thing.
No, I love that.
This was like Star Wars.
So like sorry, it took me a second.
So like the backs are always different, and like I got more stuff like these hats.
Yeah, the hat goes very hard.
Yeah, this is like the other colorway, Cooking Up.
Oh man, it's got that denim color mixed with the brown.
Yeah.
Almost, are those fingerprints?
Thumbprint. You know, when painters touch their hats, leave like thumbprints and stuff all over their clothes. So like, it's like an artist hat, like different artists, different worlds. So, hey, what's up? How you doing?
And I love this hat as well.
Yeah, this is like my first hat I designed. So it's inspired by amoebas. So like the little images is like amoeba shapes, because they're like little versions of us. And like you can also like
reversible.
Yeah.
Very nice. Another question for you, what inspires your work? What's something that inspires your creative process?
Life in general. I'm always looking for source material, whether it be like light or trash, piece of poop. It just really depends on like where I am and how I'm thinking in that moment in time, and how can I recontextualize something to make it like seem different, even though it's like something regular.
Love that. And last but not least, for someone that wants to do something similar to you, or to even start creating clothes, being a professional human being, what advice would you give them for someone that wants to start creating?
You gotta learn to stop caring so much about other people's opinions, and give yourself time and space to mess up and grow. So that means you have to find something different. You have to strive and look for learning something new with a purpose.
Love that. Thank you so much, and have a nice day. Love your art. Keep it up. Let's go. And what's your name?
I'm James Phillips.
Nice to meet you, James Phillips.
Nice to
and
meet you.
Are you an artist?
But a lot of people ask me, are you the artist? Are you the artist? And I would eventually just say, yeah, I made these, and then I'm an artist.
Very cool. And this is just really incredible. I love these combinations of almost like different forms of art mixed with skate culture, putting them on skate decks. What inspired you to, I guess you would say, like, create these type of works?
Okay. Well, I mean, there's a lot of images that I think if you live around enough, you get close to and you start to understand. And I started to get a lot of these images in my life, and putting them on skate decks kind of just is a way of repurposing them for the present, so that the same iconic images can be relived today. And I like talking about them, teaching people about the history of the pictures and the paintings. I've gotten a lot of value out of them myself, and I want to share them.
Amazing. And this one is definitely one that caught my eye. Super fan of this one. I really want to ask about this one. Like, what were you thinking when you created this one? I know it's kind of like a call to different artists, but it's reinterpreted in a new canvas. It's really awesome.
This is Renoir. He's an impressionist painter in the 1800s, and this is just my favorite painting of his. I think it's really calming. It's the least like significant of all the pieces, but I like it a lot just because it's calming. It's a nice scene. There's no message other than, you know, it's just socializing with their friends. So I like it. I like using kind of forgotten artists, as opposed to, you know, a lot of people give me a hard time about not making pieces myself and just taking other people's art, but I consider it celebrating their art. And if people can look at it when they haven't really looked at these pictures, like a lot of people know that image but haven't really studied it, and if I can get them to appreciate it, you know, I feel like I'm celebrating these artists, not taking from them. And I think, you know, they would want their legacy to live on, and I'm trying to do that.
Incredible. And last but not least, for people that also want to be a creator or someone that's being an artist, or just getting their work out, even celebrating other artists, what type of advice would you give to someone that wants to start creating?
Okay. Well, just do, you know, everyone kind of knows that. Just keep making. I'd get out and sell it. New York City is great for that, because artists are allowed to sell their art without a vending license. You just need a tax ID.
Fun fact. Yes.
So come out to Spring and Rooster. There's an open fence for you. It's open to all artists, and I think artists should spread their work. You know, get it out there. That's what I'd say.
Well, thank you so much. This is really awesome, and have a nice day. What's your name?
Hi, I'm Ciera Parker.
Nice to meet you. You're obviously my friend, but awesome outfit. What are you wearing for me?
Today I am wearing a full-on Off the Scene General look, which is this French brand, and my shirt is just this tinsel. It's just tinsel, and I love it because it's just like very like clean, with like the neckline, and also very easy to wear, very breathable. And then my trousers are gonna be like linen, 100% linen. I feel like you got me with these trousers before, actually.
Okay, bet.
Yeah. And then my shoes are my newest pickup, which are my Margiela Barouche little loafer situation or mule situation. It can be both.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And last but not least, what's your style tip of the day for people?
My style tip of the day is something that I always keep in mind every day, is to keep comfort in mind, and lead with comfort, actually. Because I feel like when you look comfortable, you look confident, and yeah, it just doesn't look like you're trying too hard.
Awesome. Shout out to comfort and letting that be, you know, the vessel to confidence as well.
Absolutely.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much. And that's it, y'all. Thanks for watching What Are Artists Making in New York. New episodes coming soon. Also, I went to Tokyo, did some really cool street fashion videos, some cool art videos, and I'm always in New York, so make sure you check those videos out. And once again, thanks for watching, y'all. We're basically at 30,000 subscribers, so this has been super awesome. Shout out to getting to 100K if we want, maybe more. So if you haven't, make sure you like and subscribe, and have a nice day. Peace.